Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer. I have a law firm. We have offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode number 306 of the Immigration Answers Show. We just celebrated our 300th episode a couple weeks ago on January 6th on Juli's birthday. It was quite the celebration. We are happy to be here with all of you today. I'm going to answer as many of your immigration or life questions as I can in the next 60 minutes. I know that people have a lot of questions and I want to give some answers. We'll be here today from 4 to 5. We'll be here tomorrow from 4 to 5. We'll be doing shows on Monday and Tuesday next week. And I might even do a show on Wednesday because I'm traveling on the back half of the week. But we're here today for the full hour and we're going to get started right away and we're going to talk to Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing? What can I help you with?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. Right. So I spoke to you last week. A little bit of an update this week. I'm struggling to find the best way for my two children to gain either an American passport in time or to travel over to the States on the British passport, as the mum is an American citizen. We're looking to travel over to the States in May. Now, when I last spoke to you, you advised to apply for our CRBA for the two children as soon as possible. The only issue being is my wife only resided in America for 1 year. Now, we believe that that's sufficient for our 7-year-old, but not for our 3-year-old, as I believe the rules changed in 2017 to state that my wife would have had to have resided in the States for 5 years.
I don't think 1 year has been enough for more than, I mean, I'd have to check and do research and all that stuff, but I think that 5-year rule is a pretty old rule.
So with my wife only residing in the States for 1 year, is that sufficient enough to still apply for the CRBA then for both children?
No, I'm thinking neither of them are children.
Neither will be enough.
Citizens. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the only other option that we found then, other than obviously travelling over as visitors on our British passports and applying for green cards 2 months in to our stay.
About maybe deciding to apply for green cards later, not making any kind of decisions while we're outside the United States.
Of course. The only other option that we were looking at was an N600K to apply via the grandparent who is resident in the States and has been since for many years. I believe you can apply for an N600K using the grandparent's details.
I don't know if that's true or not. I've never done it.
Oh, right. Okay. From the research that I've done, that is an option, but obviously the USCIS time frame.
They have a fundamental problem on their hands.
Yeah.
And you need to nail down whether or not they're citizens, because if they're citizens, then they can't get green cards. If they're not citizens, then they can't get U.S. passports. So it's sort of a chicken and an egg. You need to you need to hire someone, not us, I don't think. This isn't something we get involved in, to figure out if they are in fact U.S. citizens or not, to actually do that research.
Sure, no problem.
You got to get it right. Otherwise, you're going to waste a bunch of money on filing fees and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been so difficult to try and find examples of the situation we're in. Like you say, to try and nail down that.
Any immigration lawyer has that book called Correspondence. It lays, there's a whole chart and everything. It's a knowable fact. It's not a mystery. It's not an impossible thing. It just is going to take some research.
Yeah, no problem. I'll find someone in the state that we're looking to travel to and see if we can get some help on that.
That sounds good.
Appreciate that, Jim. Thank you so much.
Bye, Paul. Good luck, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Let's say hi to John. Hi. Oh, that's Jill. Let's go to John. Back to Jill. Hi, John.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Sorry, the time started, so I have to stop my car and get my question in. Yeah, my question is this. I filed for my I-751 2013, and I got the receipt. So it was denied. So I applied again, and it was taken to, I was in the removal proceedings. It took almost 8 years, from 2014 to 2022. But when I received a 10-year green card, it states that I have been a resident since 2022 on the day that the judge approved it.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I received a denial letter, and the denial letter said at the time my green card was terminated because they denied my I-751.
Right, but then later on, the judge approved your 751.
Yes, the judge approved the 751 on January 6, 2022.
So I think that USCIS made a mistake. They're not used to getting 751s approved in immigration court. They're used to getting I-130s and 45s approved in immigration court.
This was I-751. That's removing my condition because myself and my wife, the marriage did not go as expected. So I applied for the I-75 on my own with a waiver.
Right, but what I'm saying is I think that you need to file an I-90 and get a replacement green card because they gave you the wrong a green card with the wrong date on it.
Okay, because I have the receipt, and do you guys do that? Because my former lawyer, sometimes I felt I don't know. I ask questions and he don't.
Yeah, we could help with this. In fact, I'd like to help with it because I'd like to make sure that the judge was wrong before we file the I-90. So yeah, we could help with this for sure. Just send us an email.
Okay, and where do I send the email?
Yeah, info@hackinglawpractice.com.
Oh, okay, I think I saw that. So I'm gonna send an email. Do you need any information on that?
Well, I would say send us all your receipts, send us a copy of the green card, and then make sure that you mention you were on today's show.
Okay, and do you want me to send you the old? I don't have the green card, but the paper that they sent the green card with.
Yeah,
I have the old one and the new one. Can I send all that to you?
Yeah, send it.
I will do that, and then if you guys can get back to me and see how I can do that.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was John. That's an interesting question. Let's go over to Jill.
Ooh.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Good. I am from Trinidad and Tobago.
Great.
My fiance is a United States citizen. The thing is, he wants to petition for myself and my 2 kids. The kids are not his biological children. He has never met them in person. He only met them on the phone. So we were wondering, one, what's the steps? We were wondering if we should do the fiance visa or spousal. Also, he has been married 3 times already. One in which one of the marriages he already had petitioned to one of the wives. So we'd want to know if all these things would pose a problem. And another thing is, my kids' biological father, he had petitioned for them, I believe it was 2019, and he got denied.
Why?
I don't know exactly. I think there was we were never married, and I believe that somewhere on one of his visa applications, I believe maybe it was a B1, B2, he stated that he was in a common law relationship with me. And I believe he had answered that question no on the interview or something like that. So
and said he didn't have any kids, and now he's trying to sponsor kids.
Well, we had the kids already.
Right. What I'm saying is probably on that visa application, he said he didn't have any kids.
No, he said that we weren't in a relationship, but on a B1, B2 visa some years ago, he said that we were in a relationship. Being his common law wife. And then so
you might have his his dumb statements might hurt you.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay,
This
so
may-
look, there's lots of little issues that you raised here. So let me sort of try to unpack some of this, okay?
Yes.
So let's call your current spouse John, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So was the spouse that John sponsored before for a green card spouse number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 2.
And did that spouse become a citizen?
I believe she's a citizen now. Yes.
Does John have ties to Trinidad and Tobago? Like, is he originally from there?
No.
And how many times have you guys met face to face?
2 times, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving in the morning again
Where are you going?
to Florida. To him.
Oh, sorry for my cough.
Oh, no problem.
So you go and visit there, and you leave your kids behind,
Yes.
and you're going to go see him for a 3rd time.
Correct.
Well, I don't think USCIS is going to want to approve a green card application for someone who's on his 4th wife and second person that he sponsored. Okay, not to say that they won't, but they're not going to like the case, right?
Right.
And number 2, the fiance is even worse than the spouse, because they're just going to think he's some guy that just goes around meeting people and then sponsors them for green cards, right?
Right. Even though I would be the second case.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that you're the second case, that hurts you.
Yeah.
But I think spouse is much stronger than fiance. How old are your kids?
8 and 10.
And how long ago did he get divorced? When did he get divorced?
I believe it was either early last year.
And did you know him before? Did you know him before he got divorced or after?
We were having conversations. Yes.
Like online or what?
Yeah, online.
Okay, so your ex-husband, or not your ex-husband, the father of the children, he's in the United States?
Yes. Yes.
And what's his immigration status?
I believe he's out. He is out of status.
Okay. Okay. So this is going to be a big old mess. So are you thinking that you're going to do this at the consulate, or you think you're going to do this in the United States?
Well, for me, I would like to do it at the consular process.
Yeah, I think the problem is they're not going to want to give you a green card or an immigrant visa at the embassy. And you have a lot less control over the outcome to do this on the consular processing versus a green card application, like in the United States. So, I mean, you can appeal if you lose in the United States, which you can't do if you do it at the consulate. You're going to have a much better chance. You're going to have a longer interview at the field office than you would at the embassy. They're going to be able to see both of you together, which could be good, could be bad. I mean, where does John live? What city where would your interview be?
Well, he lives in Orlando.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're tough. They're pretty tough in Orlando. So, and was the prior spouse from Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes.
And the father of your children, where does he live in America?
I believe he's in New York right now.
I mean, because they're going to think that you're still they're going to use that lie that he told at the visit visa against you and say that you and he are still married, that you're still connected, that you're both coming to America to engage in these fraudulent marriages to get green cards, when in fact you want to raise your kids together in the United States with each other. They're not going to believe that your marriage or that your relationship ever ended.
Right. And bearing the fact he was married to a U.S. citizen as well.
Well, I mean, if he was married to a U.S. citizen, why is he out of status? That doesn't make sense.
Right, because I think after the denial, they never, I don't know if they were aware that they can appeal or anything like that. They just
deny. You said he got denied. I thought you meant he got denied bringing the kids to the United States. You're saying
he petitioned for the kids on that same marriage and got denied. So it means that everything else for the kids on that process was denied as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they don't believe him, and you're going to be sort of poisoned by your situation could, not necessarily, but could. I just don't think the embassy in Trinidad and Tobago is going to do much to help you, and I think your only shot is doing it in the United States.
Right. Oh, so you're recommending the fiance, which I didn't. Okay.
No, not the fiance. No, I'm recommend the only way I think this works is if you happen to be in the United States and happen to get married and then applied for a green card inside the United States. I don't think the embassy is going to give you a fiance visa. I don't think they're going to give you a spouse visa. I think your only shot is convincing some immigration officer in Orlando that your marriage is real and that your husband isn't just marrying people to give them immigration status.
Right.
And I sure as hell don't think you can do this without a lawyer. This is a freaking mess.
Yeah, I know that. I know. So my thing is, I already contacted your office. I spoke to one, I believe it is, but he told me to come back to the show. So I know I need a lawyer for this.
Okay.
So I'll be using you.
Yeah.
I wanted to get onto this show to start this process.
Well, okay. So I would say that we should probably talk. You should talk to one of the attorneys online or offline. I don't want to, I think that if I were considering taking this case, I would want to really sort of talk long and hard to your fiance and see if I think he's going to hold up under pretty tough cross-examination at the interview. Because I think they're going to come at him pretty hard. I think they'll like you fine. I don't think they're going to like him.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, understood. I know this would be a bit tricky because of his situation as well.
Yeah. Jill, when did you talk to Juan? Today?
No, maybe about 2 weeks ago. I was trying to get onto the show and I couldn't all the time. So
okay, do me a favor. Go in the private chat and leave a message for Huli, and she'll find you in the notes, and then we'll follow up. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.
All right. Let's say hi to Amber. Hi, Amber.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Just have a quick question for you. Because I came to the States when I was a kid. My dad filed for asylum, but the judge gave us all something called withholding of removal.
Yep.
And basically the story behind that is first the office denied. That's what my dad told me, that the office denied him asylum, but they referred him over to the courts.
Yep.
It was at the 1 yard line, but my mom, who is mentally sick, she had an outburst in court, and the judge was like, if I were to give it to you, that means that the prosecutor would appeal. So my dad took the withholding because he didn't want to go to court anymore.
That was dumb.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking about that.
Did he have a lawyer?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
But
all
now,
right.
I mean, fast forward, because this has been like a 21-year ordeal.
Right.
Fast forward now, because I was a victim of a crime. I'm going to apply for a U visa with an attorney. The only question that I have is when they went to the office for the interview, when my dad went to the asylum office, they took like a paper card called an I-94, and they never gave it back to him. And I was wondering, as part of the application, because I gave my attorney like the number off of my dad's old asylum application. So I was wondering if there's any way to get the original back or no.
Well, I don't know that you necessarily need the original. Is your dad still alive?
Yeah. Everyone's alive.
Is your mom? Okay.
Yeah.
So all of you should do a Freedom of Information Act request before you file anything. You should get your entire immigration file, your dad's entire immigration file. It should have his I-94 in there. Did you apply for DACA or no?
No.
Are you eligible, or were you eligible?
I'm not even sure, because I've been doing the withholding ever since I was a kid. So.
Okay. So, in answer to your question, you should be able to get a copy of the I-94. It should be in your dad's file. You should be able to get a copy of it.
I mean, okay, yeah, that sounds about right, I guess. But, and also another question, would I have any other options besides the U visa or no?
Well, so you've been ordered deported, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So when you have withholding, you've been ordered deported, but they're withholding execution of the removal order because there was some reason it wasn't safe for your family to go back to your home country. So as you know, it's pretty shitty status. It's not any real status. It's not any path to a green card or to citizenship or anything. You know, with that I-94, if you can all show that you were inspected, if you married a U.S. citizen, you could get a green card that way if it was a real marriage. But you'd have to get the I-130 approved, and then you'd have to go back to the court, ask them to set aside the removal order and to terminate proceedings so that you can adjust your status based on your good faith marriage to a U.S. citizen.
I mean, I'm also a nurse. Could I go do the employment route or no?
No. No, because you have, as you said, 21 years of unlawful presence. Withholding is not status for purposes of adjustment.
Oh wow.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes. Yeah, I guess it does.
You're a deported person walking. You're a deported man walking. You've been ordered deported. For all intents and purposes, you have been ordered deported. They just have withheld doing that because they felt bad for you and your family and didn't want to send you back to someplace unsafe.
Yeah, because
So
also
other
my
than that-
dad's also
other than-
like him and my sister. I think they're talking to somebody to maybe having the case relooked at again.
Why?
Because I have no idea why, honestly.
Well, be careful of people promising you shit that's probably not going to work.
I mean, if they ever do that and go ahead with it, is it going to affect me in any way or no? Because I don't want to be a part of that, honestly, because I'm not trying to go in front of a judge and relitigate an old case.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. I would tell them to chill that out.
So it's just I guess
You're
for me,
tied to your dad's case. Yeah, and like I said, you're barely here.
so right now, I guess just hang tight and see how this U visa goes, or if I fall in love.
Yep.
So those are my only two options right now.
Mm-hmm.
So how long is the wait for that U visa? I think she said it's like 5 years.
It is, and you got to get the prosecutor to certify that you're assisting in the prosecution of the criminal defendants.
I mean, these two things happened like 10 years, like over 10 years ago, and I didn't even know about this because I was in school. Because if I had known about this back then, I would have probably started a whole lot sooner.
No, it's all going to come down to the prosecutor and whether they're willing to help you or not.
I
But
mean,
like you said,
hopefully.
even if they are, then it's a long, long wait. So you got a long road to hoe.
Yeah.
Good luck, Emmer.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right, let's say hi to VK. Hi, VK.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Jim, I have a question that while filing 485, we did not send form I-693. That is the medical. Now,
Okay.
we have received a letter, both me and my wife, we have received letters that you have to file these, but you do not send it to us only when you are called for interview, or you'll get a letter if there is no interview. You can do it accordingly. Now,
So
my question is that.
So
Yeah,
VK, just
go ahead.
it says at the top I-693 deficiency notice. Is that what it says on top?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the question?
Now the question is, it's written there that there is a temporary waiver of requirement that a civil surgeon sign your form I-693. I mean, this is valid till March 31st, 2023. Now, what does it mean? I mean,
I don't know. That's news to me. I've never seen that before.
well, it is on their website of USCIS.
Oh, forget the website. What does it say in the letter? The letter says you need the medical?
Yeah, you have to fill it completely and
do the medical.
okay. And the second thing is, can we file I-693? Can we process through a civil surgeon while I'm traveling to my son in some other state?
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you run the, as long as it's an actual USCIS civil surgeon, it doesn't have to be in your hometown. No.
Okay. That's my question. And I've been following you since I was there on your show on show number 252.
Nice.
And even before that, I've been following you throughout even till today. Okay.
Thank you, VK.
I'm a fan
Good
of
luck.
you. I'm your
I
fan.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
you.
it.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Wasn't that nice? That made my day. All right. Let's say hi to Fernando. Hi, Fernando.
Hi, Jim. Jim, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So I am from Mexico. I have a permanent resident status since 2018 by marriage. I qualified for naturalization since 2021. I haven't applied yet because I have something on my record that I'm afraid is going to affect me. And that is I registered to vote mistakenly. Um, it was just a series of bad mistakes. I filled out a form. Everything happened like at a government building. I did specify that I was not a U.S. citizen in that form. I have a copy of the form, but I still fill it out and then I sign it.
Okay, so let's
I-
hold on. Let's unpack that a little bit. So, what state did this happen in?
Texas.
And what kind of a building were you at when this happened?
It was like a government building.
Were you
like
renewing
a
your driver's license or
public-
something, or what?
No, it wasn't a DMV. It was just like a government building.
And why were you in the building? Like, why did this? Walk me through how this happened?
Because my wife wanted to register to vote, and
For
recently
herself.
yes. So she's a US citizen, so she wanted to register to vote.
Okay.
And then she's like, "Well, now that you're a permanent resident, you can register to vote." So we were in a line, and we were asking these questions, and they sent us to another line to fill out the form. In other words, they told us that just fill this out, and then you'll be good to go. So I'll fill it
So
out.
they don't know. So the people that you talk to at the window, they don't know anything about LPRs or
Exactly.
citizens. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
but I did state that I was not a U.S. citizen in the form.
So the form says, like, are you a U.S. citizen? And you said no, or it says, what is your status? And you put in LPR. What exactly does it say?
The form says, are you a U.S. citizen? I said no. I crossed the box. I said no.
Okay,
but
that's
then
good.
but then I still filled that out, the whole form, and then I signed it.
Yeah, that's okay. Did they register you to vote or no?
Exactly. Yes, they did.
So they did. Okay, now here's the $1 million question. Did you vote?
No, never voted.
Okay. How long after you figured out that you shouldn't have filled out that form did you?
Within 5 minutes. It was like literally within 5 minutes.
And then what did you do then?
I called the office. Someone answered the phone. I had a bad feeling registering to vote, so I Googled it. But by that time, we were already out of the building. We were driving back home. So I called them. I said, "Hey, I just made a mistake. I filled it out. Please get rid of my form." And then she was like, "Yeah, okay, no problem. I have here your form. I'll just throw it away." Well, that never happened. And then a week later, I received in the mail the card, the voter's registration card. So of course, I immediately sent it back, the card saying that I was not a U.S. citizen, and then I needed to be removed.
Did you do that with a cover letter?
What do you mean?
When you sent it back to them, did you drive it there? Did you mail it there? Did you Federal Express it there? How did you notify?
I mailed it back to them.
With a letter or what?
No, just with my signature saying I'm not a U.S. citizen. Please unregister me.
On the card, you wrote on the card,
yes.
or what?
I wrote on the card, yes.
But you don't have any proof of that.
Yes, I have the card. I have the copy of the card, and I also have a copy of the form that I used to register to vote, and I also have a copy of the letter they sent me saying that I was unregistered to vote. That I was canceled. That my voter's ID was canceled.
How much time between the day you filled out the form and the date of that letter saying that your registration was canceled?
2 weeks tops.
Okay. So, you know that registering to vote and voting is a deportable offense, right?
Right. Yeah. And I didn't know that back in 2018.
I mean, you guys took this way too casually.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have, on that day the day that I filled out the form, I wouldn't have cared about driving home. I would have turned back around and gone back and gotten it.
I know the problem was that that they were about to close the building. It was
Mhm.
like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
there was already literally no one there. Luckily, someone answered my call, but they never got rid of my car.
And will you have your interview in Dallas or Houston or somewhere else?
In Dallas. Yeah.
Okay, so I like that Dallas field office. So, I mean, I'm not your lawyer, so I can't really give you specific advice. But generally, if you have what's called a timely recantation, a timely cancellation of the registering to vote, if you had voted, then I would say don't apply for citizenship. But
Mhm.
given the facts of you as you've laid them out, I think that you can still naturalize.
Okay.
But I think you
I
probably
was
want to have a lawyer go with you to your interview and handle the case, because I think that if you get the wrong officer, they could come at you pretty hard and make you out to be a liar, and then you're in big trouble.
okay. Luckily, I kept copy of everything, of the form, the
Yep.
letter that they sent me back, and the card that I got in the mail.
And I think that's going to save your butt.
I don't have any kind of proof of the call that I made to the
That's okay.
building. But
You actually do have proof. It's your testimony that that's what happened.
yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
that's I just didn't want to apply because I didn't know if this would actually hurt my case or not.
It could, but I don't think it will.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks, Fernando.
Okay.
If you need
Thank you,
any help,
Jim.
let me know. All right, buddy. See ya.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's say hi to Aaliyah. Hi, Aaliyah. You're on
Hello.
mute.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
I got you.
So I have a case actually started when I was 18 and when I entered US with my mom and my sister, and I got under asylum. It was 7 years ago. Then the lawyer that was with us, the first lawyer, she said, oh, she can go back home in Russia and be there until 21 and then came in. You can put her as under I-130 and she can come back. And she was like, no, I want her to stay here in America. So I got the work permit, but I'm still under asylum. And it took 7 years. I already had 3 lawyers. Current lawyer is like working so slow. And
You're talking about your green card application has taken 7 years?
No, the green card. My green card application, which is I-130, I put in 2021 basically.
Wait,
and it
hold on.
still takes forever.
Hold on. Did you go back to Russia or did you not go back to Russia?
I did not go to Russia. It took for like 7 years. No,
Okay. So when did you receive asylum in the United States? What year?
it was in 2018.
And that was under your mom's case?
It was under my own case because my mom got the green card. My little sister got the green card. I couldn't get the green card.
Oh, because you're too old.
Yep. And my stepfather couldn't adopt me. I believe that's
Okay.
what
So
happened.
we're just gonna slow down here. So
Yep.
so did you get asylum from the asylum officer or from the immigration judge?
From the immigration judge.
And which court was it?
I don't remember which court was it. But still there's no answer if I'll
So that was in 2018, right?
correct.
Okay, so in 2019, you could have applied for a green card. Did you apply for a green card based on being an asylum grantee?
Nope.
Why?
Nobody told us basically.
Why are you
And we
messing?
had a lawyer at this moment as
Are you
well.
sure they were a lawyer?
100% sure. We had 3 lawyers. I changed the third one probably 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
But no one ever filed an I-45? What's this I-130 business? They just filed an I-130 through your mom or something?
Yes, since she became a citizen, it was 2 years ago, and she put I-130 for me. And right now we're waiting for it, and it takes forever too. It's a
So,
mess.
It's not that much of a mess. It's just there must be something missing. So how old were you in 2018 when you got asylum?
In 2018, I was a 19-year-old.
And so you you at that time when you got asylum, you got a little card that said asylum's been granted, and it has like a blue stamp on it.
Yes.
But then you never filed for a green card as an asylum grantee.
No, I did. Well, is it the I-45 you said?
Mhm.
I think I did file for the green.
What happened to that case?
It's still hanging in there. It's still set in process. After that, next lawyer recommended us, since my mom became a citizen, to put I-130 on top.
No. Next lawyer told you because he wanted to make some money to have your mom file for him. That's what happened. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Send me everything you got. I want to look at it and I'll tell you what to do. But I know
even actually reach out to our director or whatever it is, the Patrick Foster, senator of Kentucky, to go and see what's going on with my asylum case and what's going on with my I-130 case, because since 2021 I'm waiting. And
but you guys have confused them, because you have competing applications. It sounds like nobody really is driving this thing. The 45 should have been approved a long time ago. They probably weren't able to do background checks because you were from Russia and you came as a kid. So all that needs you just need to sue them on the 485. I mean, I think on the 40. Do you have all your paperwork?
I do have all the paperwork, and my case is like that much. I keep all the copies.
That's not that thick. Send it all to me. I want to see it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll send it to your email.
Thanks, Aaliyah.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's talk to Larissa. Hi, Larissa.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm actually at work, but I was able to get a minute to speak to you. So thank you for adding me to the chat. Highly appreciate it. So I'll go straight to the point. So I recently, I got married about 2 years ago, 2.5. My husband is in Dominican Republic. I was a resident. I applied for the I-130 for him. In the meantime, I became an American citizen. Through the process, the petition date was accepted. That was January 3rd of 2021.
The I-130? The I-130 was from January of 21?
From January 3rd of 2021.
And has that been approved?
No, not yet.
So it's 2 years old?
It's a year and a month. A year
January.
and a month.
So is it January 21 or 22?
Sorry, 22. I apologize. Yeah.
That's okay. And how did you get your green card?
So I got married with my first husband, and that was when I was 21. That was 2000, about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Ago. And I honestly did not become an American citizen because I didn't think I had the need of, I didn't think I was going to get married out of the country. That's basically the honest truth. Now, we do have a little one, and she's 15 months. Now, I'm desperate because I didn't have a babysitter, someone that I can trust because the baby doesn't speak. So I was forced to just send my husband the baby so he can take care of her. Because, like I said, I work. I'm trying to just basically get everything together and prepare everything for them to basically get here.
So she has a passport.
Yeah, she was born in New York, so she's an American citizen, and so I am at this point. However, I just don't know why it's taking so long. I'm desperate with the approval because I haven't had my daughter for the past 12 months, 11 months.
Sure.
Her in the Dominican Republic because I couldn't afford the babysitter and all the bills by myself. And then I don't trust anybody with my little one, and I have no help. So I was wondering, is there anything that I can do to rush the process? Maybe asking USA, ask him as a support, maybe economically support or emotional support at the same time. I thought the process would be a little faster, being though I became an American citizen. But unfortunately, I haven't really done much.
So, where do you live? What city do you live in?
So, I used to live in New York. I just recently moved to Rhode Island, and that was about 9 months ago.
Okay, and you updated your address with USCIS?
Yes, sir. I did it a month later after I moved.
So, I mean, if we sued them, we could get the I-130 approved, but then you're still talking probably another year at least before it's at the Dominican Republic. So nothing's going to happen fast.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can look in the comments. People will comment about how fast or slow they are at the Dominican Republic, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty slow. So, I mean, it sounds like money might be tight. I think you might just have to wait for the I-130 to be approved. Otherwise, if you sue them, it's like $5,000. So I can get that approved, but then you still have to go through the whole visa part, which is going to take another year.
I see. They told me that my inquiry. So I called USCIS, trying to get trying to get any answer from them, and I was told by a rep that I should have waited by the end of March. I should have get something or an approval. Do you think that's correct? Should I just wait then?
Maybe. Yeah, I would say probably end of March. Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, one thing I want to caution you, either dealing with USCIS or when you get to the next stage with the National Visa Center, is I would be careful about saying too much about I need him here for economic support, because you need to show that you can support him. So if you're saying if you understand what I'm saying? If you're saying that you're not making enough money, that you need him here, then they're going to use that against you.
I see. So in reality, that's not the case. I was just trying to find a way how to get my family together as soon as possible.
Of course.
But I believe I could take care of him and her. And honestly, I pay my rent without him being here, so I can definitely survive. It's just the little one babysitting will be kind of out of the
Sure.
So you recommend for me to just wait on them, because I might have
to
wait.
If we sue them, you'll get a decision in about 60 days, but then you're on to the next stage. So it's up to you whether you think it's worth it. And it could take another year for them to approve the I-130. I don't know what's going to happen in your particular case.
I see. I believe I do have your number. So what I will do is I will get in contact with you out of camera, so we can probably continue with the conversation. And I will highly appreciate your help, and we can take it from there.
Thanks, Larissa. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye. You got it. All right. Let's talk to Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me good?
Hear you fine.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to give you a backstory real quick. So I came in the United States in 2013, F1 student. I graduated in 2019. I had to change my major. That's why I was so long. So I got on my OPT, and then I got my STEM OPT, which expires next month. Now, during my OPT period, about 2 months before I got my OPT card, I got a YouTube channel, and I got money from it. So, yeah. So you can see where this is going. So now I'm doing the paperwork because I got married last year, October. So I'm doing the petition and all that stuff. And then the question where it asked,
married to a U.S. citizen?
Yeah. So we're doing the paperwork and all that, and it asks if you've unauthorized employment and visa conditions and all that.
Have you ever violated the terms of your condition? Have you ever worked without authorization?
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, I should take yes for that.
I don't know.
But that's
is YouTube working? I don't know that it is.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking about, because I talked to my lawyer, because I'm having a lawyer do it for me, and he told me to just leave it as no and let the USCIS decide if it is, unauthorized.
So do you know how I handle these things?
No.
I leave it blank. or I put no with an explanation or yes with an explanation. It really doesn't matter. Your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
So even if you worked without permission, it's all forgiven, right? So, it doesn't matter how much you made on YouTube, but I'm sure it wasn't much.
Yeah, it was like
having had a YouTube channel for 10 years. I know you don't get rich on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it wasn't anything. It wasn't. Yeah.
So I would either leave it blank and explain it at the interview, or put yes and explain, I don't know if this qualifies as work, but I had a YouTube channel and I made $86.27 over 3 years. It's all
Yeah.
forgiven. Even if you made
Okay.
$1 million and we're working nonstop on YouTube, it's all forgiven. So it's better to say yes and lean yes, because you're still going to get approved as long as it's a valid marriage.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I don't want to put no and then I go there and be like, oh, you lied or you
I
misrepresented.
wouldn't put no. Yeah, you don't want them to lie.
Yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, you don't want them to
Exactly.
say you lied. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. That's what I was scared of. Yeah. So I told him to just put it as yes, because we went back and forth on this for like a few weeks, and I was like, I'll feel a lot
Yeah.
better if you put yes and just put a note explaining, why I think I had illegal work.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna send it out. And yeah, that's my question. And another thing is so we're also gonna do the work card. Like I said, my OPT expires next month. How long do you think before I get my my work card? I live in Minnesota, by the way.
I'll say that 3% of the people are getting them in a month. Everybody else is getting them in 6 to 9 months.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I shot myself in the foot on that. I could have applied a lot earlier. I didn't know I
you
could get
should've.
married in a court. Yeah, so I was waiting
Yeah.
to do but it is what it is.
Well,
that's all I got to do. Yeah.
My favorite expression is the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. So that's all you can do is get that bad boy on file.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll probably send it out either today or tomorrow. So yeah, just want to make sure. All right.
All right,
that's all I got.
Dan.
Thank
See
you,
buddy. Good
all right,
luck.
See ya. Yeah.
All right. Let's say hi to Sisu. Hi, Sisu. You're on mute.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure.
So my question is, my wife, she is been approved, documentarily qualified. We're waiting for interview. But the issue is, she's pregnant. She's expecting early April. She's expecting the baby early April. And if the baby is born, do we need the CRBA? Because I keep hearing two information. Some people say after I-130 is approved, you don't need that. You just need the baby's birth certificate. And some people say you do need the CRBA.
Wait, are you driving? Sisu, are you driving? I can't talk to you when you're driving, man. I thought you were parked.
I'm parking it right now.
Okay. So how long have you had your citizenship?
I've been citizen for about 12 years.
12 years? Okay. So
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me the question again. If the child is born, do you have to do CRBA? Yes, you do.
Even after NVC is approved?
Yeah.
Documentarily qualified?
Yeah.
Okay. And also I was looking through trying to see what appointments are available to be able to put in the paperwork and everything online, but I don't see any available slots for scheduling appointment just to give those documents. So I don't know how does that work.
I don't worry. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, did you check on the embassy website, the particular embassy's website?
Yes, I did, but it said
which
schedule
embassy
appointment. It's Ethiopian embassy.
Yeah, that's probably because of all the
US.
problems in Ethiopia. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. You're going to have that kid's passport much sooner than your wife's going to have her visa. So I don't think you really need to worry about it too much. It'll work itself out.
Okay, but the CRBA though, like, do we is there a way to contact them directly, or we just have to hope that slot available online because it's full until 2023?
I think you have to wait for a slot, and then that's the one kind of a thing where getting a senator to help you would be helpful. But I wouldn't even mess around with it till the kid is born, because no one's gonna get worked up over it until then, and there's nothing you can do till then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sisu. Good luck, buddy. All right. That was Sisu. Let's say hi to Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed.
Hello, Jam. Hi. Pleasure meeting you again. I believe we have spoken before, maybe about a couple of years ago, when I was firstly reached the NVC stage.
Okay.
What to give you just a bit of a context here, I'm an F1 case currently in Alexandria of Egypt, and the documentary DQ date backs to January of 2021, and I've been waiting in line now for more than 2 years since this date. My priority date goes back to January 2014.
And so it's current.
As you can see, it's current. But the thing is, I actually right after reaching the point of the DQ, I filed for a mandamus, a writ of mandamus, with a lawyer, and I reached the point of motion to dismiss. That's exactly when I decided not to continue, because it was not guaranteed at that moment or at the time what's going to happen next.
Okay.
So I did not continue, and I'm still frozen in the NVC all the time. So my question to you is, Jim, what do you think my situation is now in terms of the likelihood of success if I go for another writ of mandamus now?
How long ago did the visa become current? The visa number.
Okay. You mean according to the visa bulletin, the current visa bulletin? It says that F1, which is the son of a U.S. citizen, unmarried, over 21 years of age. It says, I think, by the end of 2014, like December 2014.
No, I mean, how long ago did your visa? Which month did your priority date become current? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I understand the question, but I'm trying to find the best way to answer the question. You mean like there is a specific time by
So
which
I assume that for the last couple of years, every month you check the visa bulletin, right? To see
it does not move. It doesn't move. But I've been current since, actually I was F2B first, and in F2B now, according to the most recent visa bulletin, it is in let me check. It is in December of 2015. So more than 2 years. F2B. So I think more than 1 year.
So did you ask to be classified as the unmarried son of an
the
LPR?
F1, because according to what I am witnessing here, the embassy, the U.S. embassy in Cairo, Egypt, is actually working on F1s more than F2Bs, unlike the visa bulletin, which states otherwise. But I'm not saying from the
right now on paper, do they know that your parent naturalized?
Yes, they do. Because
hold on.
Sure.
Did you ask to be when your parent becomes a U.S. citizen, you can ask, because the priority date for the adult children of green card holders is faster or earlier than the.
It's not that much. It's not that much at all. On paper, it's not that much, and in reality, what I noticed, Jim, is that they are actually working on F1s more than F2Bs.
What have you asked them? Have you asked them to treat you as the child of a citizen or as the child of an LPR?
Citizen. F1.
Okay.
This is currently what I am now. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get a sense is, how long have you been waiting? Like, how long has it been since the category that you're in became current? That's what I'm trying to find out.
This is also my question, because I don't know from which date they start calculating the delay. Like, if they start calculate the delay from the point of the DQ, or do they start to calculate this delay?
DQ has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
This is what I keep getting in their emails from the NVC every 60 days.
If you look at the visa bulletin every month, if you go back, eventually there's going to come a time where your priority date wasn't current and then it was. That's what I need to know in order to give you
I think it's been a year and a half now, you can say. I don't see a year and a half in this
when did you file the motion? When did you file the mandamus action?
It was right after I get the DQ. It was in May or in May or June of 2021, like 3 or 4 months.
Where did you file it?
It was with a Kak Baxter, the famous Kak Baxter immigration.
What court?
Columbia, I think Columbia District
of Columbia.
Yeah,
because they love to file those motions to dismiss up there. Okay,
exactly. It was surprising because, according to what I have read, everything just after you do something, that's the first thing. They just need to get rid of you and your case, and they push you to
in 95% of the cases. But family cases, they don't treat as strongly as spouse cases, right? And then of course they're always discriminating against men from Egypt.
Really? Do you think this is true?
Are you kidding? You know, my wife's from Mansour. You know, I'm Muslim, right? My wife is from Mansour. Most of my clients are from Muslim countries. I've been Muslim for 25 years. So, yeah, the hardest thing to do is to bring an Arab or a Muslim man to the United States. So, yes, they discriminate against people from Middle Eastern countries.
But what I don't understand or wrap my mind around is the fact that according to the statistics, you know, there are this Excel sheets that they file every month that indicates, you know, how many visas in which category have been, you know, issued each month, and they are
Yeah.
focusing like the embassy in Cairo. They are so active and they are functioning very well, but in the categories that are, you know, IR1, IR2, huge numbers. When it comes to F1, F2Bs, like 1 or 2 every month. So
So
they are not
let me ask
working.
you
It's
this-
not like
let me-
it's not like they are not.
Where do you live, or where does your parent live?
My father actually lives in South Carolina.
Yeah, so I would file a lawsuit in South Carolina. I think there's a good. They might file another motion to dismiss. They might not want you to come to the United States for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes
Actually,
when they-
I have. There's another point here, Jim. I have asked for a request like this expedite requests multiple times. And my father is 74 years old, and
that
and
doesn't. Those
I
are
have.
worthless. I don't care about that. Those are
It did
worthless.
not work at all. I have. Yeah. I have tried multiple times. It does not work. Like not the slightest. So do you think what is the best next move in your estimation here?
Well, you could file a lawsuit, but I think given the fact that they've already filed a motion to dismiss, I mean, usually
Yes.
I tell people there's a 95 to 90% chance that they just processed it, a 5 to 10% chance that they file for a motion to dismiss. On yours, I'd say it's probably more likely 20 to 30% that they file another motion to dismiss.
Mhm.
But maybe
So
things have changed, and I think if you file it in South Carolina, it's different than Washington, D.C. But there's still a good chance they could file it. And if they file the motion to dismiss, then the lawsuit's over.
Yeah, of course it is. Okay, so and how about, in your opinion, if I keep waiting, do you think do I stand the chance of waiting? Like, will the chance of getting through the line by waiting be the same as going through another mandamus in terms of the waiting time? Because more than 2 weeks now have passed. I don't know how they actually calculate this, but NVC,
Right.
according to them, they do this starting from the date of the DQ.
You've spent more time than I do thinking about what they're doing or not doing. Allahu alam, you know, only God
Yeah.
knows.
I know, because it's been there like for more than 2 years, and people say once you reach 2 years and certain amount of months, only God knows how many they move.
So are you telling me that when you look at those statistics that they are actually processing F1 category in Cairo?
They do process F1 more than, like, slightly more than F2B, and based on that, I decided to change the category to F1 instead
Well,
of the F2B.
you were current either way, and your father's
Exactly,
a citizen, so you thought,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, if they're actually processing them, they might say when they get the lawsuit, oh, this guy again, he's going to keep suing us until we get it. And they might just go ahead and start working on the case. If Cairo weren't working on F1s at all, which some embassies aren't, then I would say don't file the lawsuit. But like, if you're
No, they
comfortable,
do. They do work.
if you're comfortable with a 30% chance that they file a motion to dismiss, a 70% chance that they work on your case, then I would probably file a new lawsuit, but I wouldn't do it in Washington. I do it where your dad lives.
Which is in South Carolina. I think
Yeah.
she picked the lawyer there at CACPAC, so she picked the District of Columbia as
Well,
I don't know.
back then we all filed everything in District of Columbia, but now in District of Columbia, they're tired of getting sued, so they keep filing motions to dismiss.
Okay. So you think that
the further out courts, they just work on them.
Got you. So by changing the location, it can change the outcome.
Inshallah, I don't know, but
hopefully, like, there's a bigger chance.
Well,
of doing
I know it. I know I wouldn't file it in DC. That's what I know.
Yes, understood. Okay, another question, my last question, Jim, and I really apologize for taking a long
You're
time
fine.
here. In the case that my father comes back to Egypt, and he's not planning for that right now because he is, he has lots of medical appointments to attend and stuff. But in the case that he is here at the time of the interview, will this be a problem? Like, does he need to be in the US for
Doesn't
me
matter.
to pass the interview, or it does not matter?
I've never heard of them asking a parent to come in to an interview. They're going to believe the relationships. The only reason they call in U.S. citizens is to mess with them on marriage cases. So I don't think you have to worry about that.
No proof of domicile or anything that I would.
I mean, if he's pulled up stakes and is living full time in Egypt, that's a different question. But if he's just visiting, you're fine.
Okay, so like, do I need to be prepared for a question in this?
Again,
I've
never heard that happen.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, bye,
I
Mohammed.
really appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you, Huli. Thanks for all the commenters. Thanks for everybody who came on and asked me a question. I really enjoyed it. We will be back. Wait, aren't I doing a show tomorrow? Am I right? Yeah, tomorrow, 4 o'clock Friday. We'll be live right here. Next show's tomorrow. See, Huli was jumping the gun. She thought today was Friday. She's checked out. She has checked out. All right. I will be back tomorrow. Andrew Ng, if you're in the waiting room, come back tomorrow. Come back early. If you want to find out when we're going to go live or what the link is, 314-470-3300. Send the text, be in that waiting room at 3:55, and I'll come to you first, Andrew, if I see you in there. Sorry for the wait, everybody. Have a good night.